There is one simple definition, and then there are different degrees of commitment. How strictly do you want to follow this rule? But there's one rule. There are certain animals that are not kosher. Any ingredient from that animal in any food product makes the food not. So kosher really refers to animals, to meat. But meat products find their way into everything. So you say a cookie is kosher, you mean there's no meat product that isn't kosher, like gelatin, which is almost in everything. So what is a kosher cookie? A kosher cookie means it doesn't have any ingredient from a non-kosher animal. And what makes an animal kosher or non-kosher? If the animal chews its cud and has split hooves, it's kosher. If it doesn't, it's not kosher. So pork is not kosher because it doesn't chew its cud. It does have split hooves. So if we could teach pigs to chew their cud, they'd be kosher. Start training them. Why is that better?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. This is God's... In other words, God created certain animals for us to eat and certain animals for some other purpose. To indicate which is which, he chose these two signs to let you know which one is kosher, which one. So that's what makes things kosher. It becomes very complicated when you have these manufacturing companies and every product has like 30 ingredients, which it shouldn't have, just for health reasons. And among those ingredients, you got to check out the oil. Where does it come from? Is the oil animal fat? Is there some animal fat in it? So we have rabbis who dedicate their lives to checking out products and certifying that they're kosher. So when you buy a product like a bottle of oil and it says 100% pure cottonseed oil, legally 2% can be animal fat. And you can still call it 100% pure cottonseed oil. So the rabbis have to go in there and check it. So does it really matter that the cookie has no animal product? For the Jew, it's huge. For everybody else, it's not an issue. So don't get distracted too much with why Jews do what Jews do. That's not your responsibility. But the universal principles behind what we're doing and why we even exist, because this is our entire existence. We're here to serve God. Why isn't everybody? And that's why we don't proselytize. I'm not asking anyone to convert, change your religion, change your culture, whatever your religion. Find a few minutes to do something for God, and the world will be wonderful. And even if you are religious, stop doing it for yourself. Do it for Him. Takes all the greediness out of it. The more difficult ones. Well, when you're living away from Jewish centers, keeping kosher can be very difficult. There are no kosher restaurants. You don't have access to kosher products. That can be challenging. For some people, observing the Shabbos or the Sabbath can be very challenging. Their job demands that they work on Saturday. And they have to really sacrifice. Or it looks like a sacrifice anyway. What else? There are holidays that can be demanding, like Passover, where you can't eat any bread at all, or any bread products, and you have to clean out your whole house, and it's demanding. I don't know. Once you're in it, and you've done it once or twice, it doesn't seem so daunting anymore. But when you first look at it, you say, "Oh my, this demands sacrifice." But once you're doing it, it doesn't feel like a sacrifice at all. And what it does for children is absolutely, kids are involved. They're part of it. It's their thing. It's for them. It's all a blessing. So here's another thing. Judaism is practiced primarily at home, not in synagogues. The synagogue allows you to perform one commandment, one out of 613, and that is to pray as a community. That's it. That's one out of 613. So the synagogue is not the most important part of Jewish life. The most important part of Jewish life is the home. That's where you get to practice the other 612. That is a very central point, a very good point. If you're trying to get to heaven, and you're trying to be a saint, and you mess up, well, back to zero, back to the drawing board. You're going to hell, you haven't accomplished anything, and you got to start all over again. If you're here to do something for God, and yesterday you didn't, well, do it today. The question is not, are you a saint? You're not. And that's okay, because the objective is not to become a saint. The objective is pitch in. God is trying to have a really good world. Can you help out? If you didn't do it yesterday, well, then do it today. So if you really messed up and did something terrible yesterday, promise God you won't do it again and do something positive. That's it. It's much more forgiving. But not because of leniency, because of purpose. So what if you messed up yesterday? Today you can do something for God. What are you waiting for? Yeah, well, will I go to heaven? No, don't even think like that. So there's never too messed up, too far gone. You're doomed. You're never doomed. Well, maybe you are, but who cares? Do something for Him. It's such a relief. I don't have to be a saint.
I think she was asking, is there a concept of repentance?
Yeah. And that is repentance. Repentance means you didn't do it yesterday, so do it today.
What about eternal damnation?
That's a very long time. Eternal damnation is an unkosher concept. If you're damned forever, it means your evil will never end. That can't be. Evil is not forever. So to believe in eternal damnation is almost idolatry, because you're believing in an eternal evil. There's no eternal evil. So even if you go to hell, it does something, it fixes something. It doesn't just go on forever. What's the point? So no, hell is not forever. Hell won't exist forever. Only God exists forever. Goodness is forever. Evil is not. So not only don't you have to believe that, you're not allowed to believe that. And it's not in the Bible anywhere. There is no mention of eternal damnation.